Good morning. Welcome to Ask Cafe Online. My name is Chef Caesar, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a bechamel sauce. This is one of the 5 mother sauces that Ask Cafe classified. And the reason is we call it mother sauce is because we can make, this is a base sauce. By itself, it's not really tasty, but we can add different ingredients and make different sauces. And you can make so many different ones. I'm going to show you a couple today that you can make really simple. So we're going to start by making our roux here. We got some clarified butter. This is what we're going to be used as a thickening agent for our sauce. I got some flour here. Got butter to start getting warm. And we want to make this roux nice, and we'll make the blonde roux that we call it. You don't want to make this roux too dark because you don't want to have any. The sauce should be nice and white because, like I said, this is a base sauce that we use to make different sauces. And honestly, does anybody know where this sauce came from? Because it's not from France. It's not originally from France. Does anybody know out there what country this sauce came from? Anybody? Okay, well, this sauce was originally from Italy, and it made its way to the French royalties. And since it was, very rich sauce, it fit really well with, French rich cuisine. So this is, and then the French renamed it after the steward for Louis King the 14th. He was like, so this is, and then they made it one of its own. And then after that, Escoffier classified as a base sauce because, like you see, we can make so many different sauces. So for a chef, once you have your nice base sauce, you can make a different sauce in a hurry. For example, if you're like in the middle of the dinner rush, if you're running out of sauce, you can grab this bechamel and add whatever ingredient you need to make, and I mean the sauce will be really fast instead of having to start all over again, and will take a long time to make a sauce from scratch. So you want to have a nice base sauce, and like I said, we have a roux going here, and we don't want to brown this too much. We just want to have a nice blonde roux, otherwise it's gonna turn the sauce brown, and we don't want that. And once you have a really nice base sauce, this is the foundation for the many different sauces. You can add all kinds of different ingredients. For example, you can make with your pesto, you can add some pesto to your bechamel sauce and make a nice creamy pesto sauce, which will go really well with a lot of different dishes. This is one of those things. A little more flour here. I'm going to put my roux to the side here, and I'm going to start with my sauce. It's really basic. You only have some milk. Going to start warming up our milk here. And like I said before, by itself it's not really that tasty. You don't have a lot of flavor to the sauce. We're going to do an onion piquet. We're going to add some bay leaf and a clove. This is really what goes into the onion. We're going to cut this onion. Don't cut the core, just cut the bottom. You want to leave the core attached so the onion doesn't fall apart. Let's cut it into quarters. We're going to put one of these cloves in here. We're going to make a little slit in the back so we can add our bay leaf. This is how we're going to flavor our sauce. Then we're going to drop it in the milk. We're going to bring this milk to a boil, so we're going to get some flavor from the onion, the bay leaf, and the clove. And again, it's not going to be very flavorful because it's just a basic sauce. Then you can add some, once we take it out, some salt and some white pepper, and be a really, I'm going to crank this up so it starts to warm up quick. And this is going to be our base. I mean, you can make, like, for example, with this bechamel sauce, you can make a basic, macaroni and cheese. You can add some cheddar cheese, or this could be the base for our Alfredo sauce. So again, it's very important to make a nice bechamel sauce that you can, keep ready, especially in the restaurant where you can, going to make so many different sauces in your menu. But you're going to be, it'd be really hard to be making, many different sauces throughout the day. So you have this base sauce, and from here we're gonna add different ingredients. We can add, like for example, we can make an Antua sauce, which is a crawfish butter sauce. Or also we can make a soubise, which is a caramelized onions puree into the sauce. And again, you can do so many different sauces using this as a base. And this is going to take a little bit to warm up, but once you want to bring it to a boil, and after that we're going to add the roux to thicken it up. And make sure that you guys ask any questions along the way. I'm here to answer your questions if you guys have any. But like I say, this is one very important sauce to really get down and know how to make this, because those of you that are going to be working in the restaurant business, you're going to be doing this. I guarantee you will, because it's going to really help you a lot if you know how to make a nice bechamel sauce. It's going to be the base, the foundation for many different sauces. So make sure you guys really pay attention to this when you go through the sauce chapter. Like when you go through the stocks, the tomato sauce. It's very, very important you guys know how to make a proper stock, because that's going to really determine the outcome of the final dishes. You might think, okay, it's just a stock, but if you don't make a really nice stock or a sauce, there's no way you're going to end up with something great at the end. It's going to go out in the menu to your customers. So it's very, very important you guys learn how to do this and really take your time, because this is very, very important for especially if you're going to go into the food industry. Any questions out there, anybody? Have you guys been taking the challenge questions on the homepage? All these wonderful questions for management. Anybody? So our milk's starting to warm up, and we don't want to really make it boil too high. We want to kind of keep it low and be careful not to burn the milk, because you don't want to get any burnt flavor to the sauce. And again, this is a really plain sauce, basic. It doesn't have a lot of flavor by itself, but I'm going to show you that I'm going to make a nice grainy mustard sauce and a Mornay sauce, which is a cheese sauce that we use with Swiss cheese, Parmesan, egg yolk, and we can also add a little more cream, or you can add some chicken or fish stock. Depends, what you want to use it for. You can use it for eggs or a seafood dish, and I'm going to show you in a little bit how to make it. But we have to make this sauce first in order to make the other one. So once you have this sauce, you can make so many different ones, and you will see what I'm talking about, how easy it is once you have your bechamel sauce made to go and just add some other ingredients and make some wonderful sauces. And this is basically just made with milk. You don't want to have such a heavy sauce at the beginning, because at the end you're gonna be, for example, I was telling you, you can make like a butter sauce with this, and I mean if you start with a really heavy cream sauce, it's gonna be too thick by the time you finish off. So this is just milk and some roux with some butter and very little flavorings. So this is not gonna be too complicated to make. I believe we have a question over here.
Yeah, Chef, how long can you keep the sauce in the fridge? And if so, can you freeze the sauce?
The question was, how long can we keep the sauce in the fridge, or if so, can we freeze it? You can keep the sauce for a couple days. Normally we don't go more than 3 days, because milk and it can spoil quickly. You don't want to really freeze this, because sometimes when you freeze cream sauces, they tend to break. But it's really, if you need to, you might freeze it, but not for a long time. And again, you can refrigerate it for about 3 days, 4 days. Normally in the restaurant business, we don't make a big batch, because we want to keep everything fresh. But you could do it for keep in the refrigerator for about 3 days and then take it out and then make some other sauces that you like to do. I believe we have another question over here.
Chef, what temperature are you heating the milk to?
Well, okay, the question was, what temperature would heat up the milk to? Well, we want to bring it to a boil, and once we bring it to a boil, we want to turn it down so to simmer, and then the way some of the onion flavor is gonna go infuse into the milk, and then we're gonna add our roux so we can get a little thicker sauce. From there, we can cool it off, put it away, or go ahead and make a different sauce if you want. As you can see, it's starting to boil. Slide a spoon to take the thing out of there. Be careful, because this milk starts to stick to the bottom, because it burns quick, so you don't want to burn this milk too much. Now it's starting to simmer. Now the milk's starting to boil, when I add my roux. See. And it's gonna be nice and white, because the roux, the blonde roux, is not too dark. And this is how you want to keep it. You don't want to make it too brown, otherwise your sauce is gonna be brown. You don't want that. You want it nice and white. I'm gonna turn this down because it's starting to boil pretty much, so I don't want to go over my pan. It's gonna make a mess. Okay, see, it's now boiling really nice. And right now it's not gonna be too thick. It's gonna get, once it cools down, it's gonna get thicker. So if you make this and you take it out next day, it's gonna be thicker. That's okay too, because once it cools down, it's gonna get thicker as well. So keep that in mind in case you figure out. It's like, what happened to my sauce? If you put it away, when you take it out next day, it's gonna be a little more solidified. Now it's kind of runny. We want to make sure we break down all the roux in there. There's no lumps. So you want to, beat it with a whisk. You should have a nice and smooth sauce. That way when you, make another sauce, we're going to strain it anyway. You're supposed to strain it at the end so we get all the onions and the bay leaf out of there. But anyways, you have to really, work the roux in there so it doesn't... Okay, now I'm going to take the sauce off the flame. As you can see. Strain into my bowl here. At this point, I want to put some salt. You don't want to put too much, because also, remember, you're going to be using this to make something different. And like I said, this is going to be pretty, by itself, it's not going to be very tasty. But I'm going to show you that we're going to be making a nice whole grain mustard sauce with this. I'm going to bring this little pan over here. So now that we have our bechamel sauce, I'm going to put some of this sauce in the pan. Okay, I'm going to turn it on. Like I said, if you want to make it a little creamier, we can add some heavy whipping cream. You don't have to if you don't want. You can just go ahead and use it the way it is. But I want to make it nice and creamy because I want to add some whole grain mustard sauce to this. It's gonna be a different flavor now. At this point, it's really not that tasty. So it's great because we want to that way we can change the flavor. It's not gonna be really contradicting flavor. So we want to reduce this down a little more. And with this mustard sauce, it goes really well with a chicken dish, maybe some fish. As you can see, it's nice and bright white. This is how it's supposed to be. So I just want to kind of reduce it down a little bit. Then I'm going to add some of my creamy mustard sauce here. As you can see, now we'll have a different sauce. Okay. I'm going to add a little more salt, pepper. As you can see, now we made a mustard sauce, which is fairly, easy to do once you have your base sauce. It's nice and creamy and easy to do. I mean, you can add this to, like I said, fish or a chicken dish. It goes really well. It's wonderful. Now, remember I told you I was going to show you how to make a, let me rinse my pan again. A cheese sauce, a Mornay sauce. This, an easy one too. You can also, use this for like eggs, oysters, any kind of seafood will go really nice too. Okay. Turn my pan on. I'm going to put some more of this Bechamel sauce in my pan. This is a Mornay sauce, which is a cheese sauce made with some Swiss cheese, Parmesan, some egg yolk. As you can see, it's very simple. Once you have the base sauce, to add more ingredients and it's going to come out really great. Also, if you want to make it some more creamy, add some more cream as well. You don't have to, but I'm doing it because I like to have a nice creamy cheese sauce. I'm going to add some Swiss cheese here. A little Parmesan. This could be the base for Alfredo sauce too. You can just finish it off with some Parmesan cheese and some butter. You will make a nice Alfredo sauce for a pasta as well. So, I mean, there's so many different possibilities you can do with this base Bechamel sauce. Okay. At this one, we're going to add some egg yolk to make it nice and creamy. So, at this point, I'm going to separate my egg here. As you can see, once you have your base sauce, it's so easy to make different sauces. It's amazing, But the key here is to make a nice sauce to begin with. Okay. You can see the cheese is melted. Make sure you want to whisk it really good when you put the cheese, otherwise it's going to stick to the bottom. I believe I have a question over here with someone.
What's the name of the sauce that you're making again?
The question was, what's the name of the sauce I'm making again? This is a Mornay sauce. It's basically a cheese sauce with Parmesan cheese, some Swiss cheese, and I'm adding some egg yolk at the end like this. Make sure you put it slow, otherwise it's going to be scrambled eggs. You don't want that. This is going to make it nice and creamy. You want to go slow. It's like adding butter to a hollandaise sauce. You see, the color changed a little yellowish. goes really well with some baked oysters, maybe some scallops, nice fish. Smells great. As you can see now, the color is not really white. It's a little yellowish from the egg, also from the cheese. I'm gonna add a little, white pepper, some salt. And now we have a different sauce. As you can see, being a chef is not that complicated. Cooking is the easy part. Okay, now we have a nice smooth sauce over here. We want to make sure we strain this too, in case we have any lumps in there from the cheese, from the egg yolks. We don't want that. See, this is nice silky sauce. It's nice and creamy. And I was right, there's a little, residue from the cheese that got, lumpy, and also some of the egg yolks. So you want to take it out of there. And you're going to end up with a nice creamy sauce. This is the other one that we did before. And also, if you want to keep the sauces from getting like film on top, you can chop some whole butter and put it on top. It's going to stop from making this film on top like this one already did. So you want to make sure that if you want to keep it in the, in the steam table, put a little butter on top. That's going to keep the sauce nice and smooth and without, having the film. And this is a nice sauce. A different flavor profile than the one with the mustard. So you can make all different types of sauces using this this base sauce, which is my bechamel sauce. I believe we had another question over here.
Why did you start with clarified butter instead of whole butter?
Well, the question was, why did I start with clarified butter instead of whole butter? You can do either or. When you're making a roux, you can do whole butter, or I just had some clarified butter handy. That's why I did that. But when you're really careful, you're not going to burn the roux. So when you do whole butter, it's really, you got to be really careful with the heat, because whole butter burns much quicker than clarified butter. So you can do either or for this sauce. So, that's, I had some, like I said, clarified butter, so I went ahead and used that. Anybody else out there? Well, if you guys don't have any questions, I want to be wrapping this up. I want to make sure that you guys understand, the process, and also the recipe is going to be up along with the video to make the sauce. And as you see, it's very simple. It's nothing, to worry about. They're really simple steps. You make a nice base sauce. From there, you can make all different kinds of sauces you can think of. So, make sure that you guys practice doing this, because one of these days you're going to need it, especially the ones of you that are going to go to work in a restaurant. This is what you're going to be doing, okay? And you're going to be creating some wonderful dishes. And I want to thank you for being here this morning with me. And I see you next week for another wonderful recipe. Thank you and have a nice day.